Welcome along to the TRL Grand Final Footy Show for 2019, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchison Builders, live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia. And now, here's your host from the Obie and Cookie Call on Power FM, Andrew O'Brien, aka Obie.
Well, thanks very much, Robbo, and welcome to the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final Footy Show. And it's finally here, the last week of this wonderful centenary year for the Toowoomba Rugby League, and this is what all the guys are playing for, the Hutchies Cup there, which thanks very much for Brian Gilroy bringing it in. And speaking of Brian, he's joined us. Thanks for joining us today, Brian.
Yeah, good to be here for the last one of the year, Obes.
And that's great. And
shift that for you?
Yeah, shift that, that'd be great. And then, of course, and his last ever TRL Footy Show is the one and only Justin Murphy. He's going to co-host me today before he goes to a less English-speaking country. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. No, it's a great time to be here talking about grand finals in Toowoomba, so really good and happy to be here.
Yeah, and of course, my old mate from Brothers, but he's on the board here of the Toowoomba Sports Club, and he's representing the Sports Club, our fantastic sponsors. Welcome to the Footy Show, Joe.
Thanks very much, Obie, and good evening, everyone. And I'd just like to say on behalf of the Toowoomba Sports Club, we've had a great season with the Toowoomba Rugby League, and we're really looking forward to a great final series.
And we certainly are. Well, let's get stuck into it. Mustangs played their last game of the 2019 season. They went down 32 points to 18 to South Magpies, I think it was, and that was on the weekend, and they finished off a campaign 2019. Reflecting back, Murph, what do you think about the Mustangs season? They started well and they had all the promise, great pre-season, but when they lost that 70 to game and then they came back and won one, still hot and cold.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're finding out that playing at a higher level, you've got to perform at a higher level all the time as well, and at the moment they just can't balance that out, but it's still a learning curve and hopefully they can still improve in years to come.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like the chocolates, you don't know what you're going to get, because next year, of course, the 20s go up and we get some come back through, Brian, don't we?
There's some good boys in the 18s coming through, so yeah, you never know. It's a pretty tough comp. They're playing against some big sides too and fast sides, so I think they battle along gamely, and they tried pretty hard for the season, but it just probably weren't up there with some of the better sides. And
your thoughts on the Mustangs, Joe? You've been around for a long time.
Look, I think the Mustangs is an absolute must for Toowoomba Rugby League and for our sport. But yeah, they are still on a learning curve. It's been a tough road for them, and as Brian said, there are some pretty tough sides and some pretty big young blokes out there playing the game now. So I think we'll improve. We've got to improve, and I think if we all jump in and work together, I think we're on a winner.
Exactly right. Now, Brian, it is grand final week for the Toowoomba Rugby League, and especially I sort of pinch myself because it is the 100th year of the Toowoomba Rugby League, and it's going to be a special day on Sunday. We've got the press conference tomorrow. We've got the TRL Grand Final Footy Show. Warwick, we're all done up in the paper this week. Valleys, they've got two grades in, so it doesn't get any better, really.
No, I mean, that's what people play footy, to play in grand finals. I mean, representative football's good, and that's one level you can get to. But playing in the grand final with a bunch of blokes you've trained with, for 12 months or so, it's the pinnacle of what we do in sport. That's to win premierships, to win trophies, and four teams on Sunday are going to, across all our grades, are going to have that opportunity.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, we've got Gatton in 3 grades, Murph. We've got Dolby in under 18s. Newtown, they're going to have a heap of old blue bags there as well. And then Valleys, you've got the 2 sides, and not forget that the whole town of Warwick's going to be there.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. It's going to be a superb day for a grand final. It's going to be good weather. I think if you're a supporter of rugby league around this area, it's going to be the place to be, definitely.
And Brian, you'd think that we're going to have one of our, given that it's not going to be like we're expecting hot weather lead up, but Sunday is going to be a bit cooler. It's going to be just a perfect spring day, isn't it? And we're going to have a ripper of a crowd. Your thoughts?
Well, it sounds like the weather's going to be better than it has been. Quite hot today, but by Sunday it's supposed to be cooling off. I think we'll have a good crowd. We've had good crowds over the last few years. Warwick always bring a good crowd. I recall last year there's a lot of blokes there, a lot of big crowds supporting Valley, so I'm expecting them to show up. Those one-town teams like Warwick, though, they bring the crowds along, and Gatton, they'll bring some people in. I think there'll be a really big crowd for the Seagrave because Newtown have got great support. So I think across today, a few thousand people hopefully turn up and enjoy that local rugby league experience. I mean, there's one thing watching it on TV, it's another completely being there, as you know, Andrew.
Yeah, well, the last 3 seasons, the Toowoomba Sports Club and Toowoomba Rugby League have gone hand in hand, and Joe, no different this season, and it's great to be involved from a Toowoomba Sports Club point of view with the 100 years.
Oh, look, it is really good. I mean, we've really enjoyed our association with the Toowoomba Rugby League. Of our 5 foundation clubs, 3 of those clubs are rugby league clubs, so we really got a vested interest in the sport and vested interest in clubs locally. So, we're really looking forward to the grand final day, and obviously, if you like rugby league, why wouldn't you? Get out there on Sunday. Yeah,
it's a multi-sport venue here, but certainly rugby league's been part and parcel of the sports club. And tell me a little bit about Toowoomba Sports Club. When did it start here, and how did it start, Joe?
Well, went back about 2009. There was 5 clubs in town that decided maybe pool some resources and try and get together and get an actual proper sporting sort of club up, and that was Valleys Rugby League Club and also All Whites Rugby League, which is now Brothers. We had South Rugby League, Toowoomba Basketball Association, as well as the North Hockey Club. So basically together they pooled their resources and built or got involved and built a club as it is today, and went through some tough times there, but formed an association later on down the track with the Canberra Raiders, which has been very, very good for not only the club itself, but really good for those 5 participant original clubs, because obviously we get a little bit of a profit share out of that, which goes back into the town and into the community, and we do a lot of other stuff with other sports and community groups too. So that's what we're all about, is giving back to the community.
And I know some of the teams, they come back here after the games as well. It's a good place for them to get together after the games. South used to come here, I think they still do. So
yeah, no, Justin, it certainly is a really good place to come back here. I mean, it's a bit of a different environment, but I think the best thing is the partners actually enjoy it. So if your partners are actually enjoying it and the kids, well, obviously you as a player might be able to stay around for another 1 or 2 ales and go home.
That's important too.
Very important, yeah. It's all about that balance.
And Joe, moving forward, you've got big plans coming over the next period of time. Tell us about those.
Yeah, Obi, look, over recent probably 12, 18 months, we've been looking at redeveloping the club and putting a bit more money into it. As you know, Toowoomba's changing quite dramatically. There's a lot going on around the hospitality industry, so we're looking to ensure that we're still a very viable club and putting a bit of a refurb plus some new bringing some new things into the club for the patrons. So it's a pretty exciting time, and once again, if we can do that, that hopefully will bring increase our great membership, and also not only provide some good proceeds back into the community, but also back to those foundation clubs.
And it's a partnership that the Toowoomba Rugby League really is entrenched in, Brian, and we have some wonderful sponsors throughout the Toowoomba Rugby League, don't we?
Well, the important part is that they also sponsor your call, the Hobie and Cookie call, so that's a lot of people enjoy that. A lot of people get to follow the footy on Sunday afternoons and Saturday nights, and partly that's due to the support of the footy show, of the sports club.
Yeah, that's great. Well, look, thanks very much, Joe. We're going to see you at the end of the show, and as we go to a break, let's look at an interview with, before I go, I want to thank you, Brian, and we wish you all the best on Sunday. Hope it's not too onerous.
No, we couldn't even stop it now if we wanted to. That all just turned up in place, so no, it'll be a good day.
And I would like to say, Brian, on behalf of the Hobie and Cookie Call and the Footy Show, thank you very, very much for your backing of both our forms of medium. It's much appreciated, and you know that we do really thank you, right, personally, for backing it, because if we didn't have Brian Gilroy's support, then we certainly wouldn't be here today.
Well, thanks for saying that, Obes. I appreciate it. I enjoy what you guys do. Don't always listen, don't always watch, but I know you're out there flying the flag for us all.
All right, yeah, thanks very much. And yes, it's right what we say about these guys. They're thankless jobs, but it's we need their backing, don't we, guys?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
No?
No, definitely, yeah.
That's good. I've got to give you some. You've been away for a bit, mate, haven't you?
Yeah.
Are you a bit nervous today?
No, not really, no. I'm looking forward to it.
Most
Looking
people
forward
are
to
who
the
sit
weekend.
beside me. Is that right, Brian?
Whatever you say, Andrew. I always agree with you. You know that.
Okay, well, let's have a look at that interview with Nick Vanderpool after Waddle's loss on the weekend. This is the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final show.
Rugby League, and I'm here with the centre three quarter for the Waddles Warriors, Nick Vanderpool. Nick, mate, what's going through your mind at the moment? It must hurt.
Very disappointed after what was a game we probably should have won. We come out good, we give them a bit too good of a lead at the start. There we brought it back in, and second half we just didn't go away with it. But
Mate, you were right in there till 60 minutes to go, and it could have went either way. Was there anything that specifically happened out in the field you think turned?
I can't put my finger on it myself. I just think we didn't take our opportunities when we had them. Just lack of ball on our line at the end there kind of hurt us. But credit to Valleys where it's due. Their defence was good today. So,
Mate, you're only 20, 21, and you've played in a crack-hot side for 2 years, which is fairly special because they don't come by that often. Ask Warwick. But you've got blokes like Mitchy Duff, Jackie Duggan coming through, yourself, Vanderpool, Richardson. So he's building a very good side of young fellas out there at Waddle, so it's onwards and upwards.
that's right. Yeah, we got a few young ones coming in through. I think Mitch Burke today got himself a try in A grade, so that's good for him. That's something he'll bloody remember. So it's good. It's good to have a few good young ones coming through as well.
Mate, on a personal note, last year you were this raw-boned kid. Could have been a little bit overawed by the whole experience. You come up against a fairly good Valley side. Mate, in the 12 months growth within yourself, it's just been phenomenal, and you go forward like you're going to be one of the prime centres in the competition. Hence, you made the end of the year selection side.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's something I want to do this year personally, just better myself and make myself a better player for not only myself but for the team, and I think that's something that I've done, so I'm pretty confident with that. And
So how do you go about that, Nick? Is it a mental thing? Has Travis got inside your head and giving you instructions, or is it a personal goal? Do you train harder? Do you go away and give yourself a really good off-season? What do you do?
Yeah, Trav helps a lot mentally. I personally think this year I've been mentally stronger than what I was last year, and yeah, try and do a bit of fitness and everything in the off-season and try and come back better than I was the year before. So something I always like doing is building and seeing it.
Mate, you head off into the off-season. These sorts of games, they play on your mind for months on end, and mate, you've been a brilliant side over the last 2 years. Hopefully you just come back bigger and better next year, which I'm sure you will if Travis hangs around and coaches, because you've got some wonderful players. But mate, on a personal note, congratulations on a wonderful season.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that. Yeah, we'll see you next year.
Cheers, Nick. Thanks, mate.
Coming up after the break, Obi and the panel will review the Toowoomba Rugby League preliminary final. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchie's Builders, live and free from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Hutchie's lives here. We're locals, just like you. To us, construction is really about people, not just bricks and concrete. It's people who bring our structures to life and build communities. We stick by the people who make communities. From Toowoomba Rugby League to RACQ Lifeline Rescue Service, Milne Bay Military Challenge, and the Toowoomba Tennis International, Hutchie's is proud to back the people who support the region.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time, with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters Toowoomba West on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
Kevin on the radio.
Jamming as much variety into your day as possible.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
G'day, Kev Walters here, coach of the Mighty Maroons and brand ambassador for Toowoomba Kia. Did you know that every new Kia, including my Stinger, comes with a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty? 7 straight years. Ha! That's equal to 21 Origin matches worth of warranty. But you don't just get the best warranty in the business, these guys are all about making winning deals for Queenslanders like you. So come down and see the team here at Toowoomba Kia, Toowoomba's new home of Australia's best 7-year warranty.
Queenslander!
Not bad.
Thanks so much for your company for the TRL Footy Show, live from the Toowoomba Sports Club. And now it's back to Obi and the panel.
Yeah, welcome back to the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show on grand final week, and Murph, Nick Vanderpool's been one of the shining lights this year.
Yeah, definitely. He's had a good season. He's a young kid, and I think he's going to get better next year again as well.
Well, one of the sides competing in the A-grade grand final is the Valleys Roosters, and we've got the president of the Valleys Roosters, one of the unsung heroes of the Roosters these last couple of years, Gary Dejoux. Welcome to the Footy Show.
Thank you, Obi. Happy to be here on such an important week.
And of course, we've got the coach. I've been watching Matty for a number of years, and I think he's doing a tremendous job this year. Welcome to Matty Schultz, the coach of the Valleys A-grade.
Thanks, Obi. Happy to be here, mate. Thank you.
Well, let's have a look at we'll talk about your thoughts on the grand final, but let's have a look at the summary of the preliminary final from last week. Valleys 47 defeated Wattles 28. The lead changed 5 times before Valleys scored the last 3 tries and kicked a John Darien Hotel field goal to take the match 47 points to 28. Dexter Buchanan's 62nd minute try off a magic Corey McGrady pass saw the Valleys skip to an 8-point lead, 36 to 28, before Jason Sharp put Dylan Chown in for a try, and he scored one himself to put the win beyond doubt. It was absolutely wonderful stuff, especially to you. First to you, Murph.
Yeah, no, it was a good game, very good. Valleys came out strong and got to a lead, and then Wattles, to their credit, they came back and they took the half-time lead 18-6, and then the second half was a bit seesaw again for a little while, and then Valleys put their foot down, I think, and showed how good they can be.
Exactly right. Matty, what I liked about your side compared to the previous week, you did play for the 80 minutes and you would have been very happy about that.
Yeah, we know we needed to stay in the contest for a lot longer than we did against Warwick. We obviously dropped the ball a bit there, but we knew, to beat a quality side like Wattles that we needed to, play for the 80, and, it was refreshing that although we probably conceded more points than we would, like to, we were able to stay in there and, just put some tries on late in the piece.
And your thoughts on the game, Gary? You couldn't watch, you had to sit down at the back, didn't you? But then we have cult followings like you for the Obi and Cookie call.
Yeah, I actually preferred to listen to your call in the second half, but it was a stressful afternoon for myself, but it was pleasing to see the guys play for 80 minutes this week. We know we can play footy. Our defence was a bit of a concern. We let in a fair few points, but all in all, we played more of the 80 minutes that we have in the last few weeks. So it was pleasing and a pleasing result.
I've got to say, Matty, that the previous week here, you two guys were minor premiers, and then you had just 2. That's A grade and reserve grade, and then you had 2 losses. How deflating was that? But in the end, it was probably a good thing it happened because it made you really focus. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, look, obviously, we sat down at training Tuesday and the mood was a lot better than it was the week before, obviously. But, and One thing, I think it showed a bit of resilience and a bit of character within the two sides, that we had to come back and, faced losses, and we had to come back and we had to regroup, and, had that one chance to get into the grand final then, and it was, there was definitely some positives to it, so, yeah.
It made you a bit mentally tougher probably. The boys were very disappointed after losing that game and letting that game go.
Yeah, obviously they were shattered after the Warwick game, and we had to do a little bit of work to pick ourselves up, but, we were able to do that, and it was a good mental battle to get over to beat. Both in reserve grade and A grade. Reserve grade hadn't beaten Gundawindi all year, and A grade hadn't beaten Wattles, so it was good to get those wins.
Denzel Burns coming back's a bonus as well.
Yeah, obviously, he's a great player, so it's good to have him back in the side with his brother.
And it's funny, Gary, because yes, it was probably good with those losses because you went under the radar a bit before the preliminary final, right? Because all the focus was on the teams that actually had won the previous week, like Wattles had beaten Dalby, Gatton had beaten Valleys, of course, for that next week, you see, so quite amazing.
It was, but I think there was a bit of comment after our game against Wattles after the A-grade game, and it's true to what this club is all about. And some of our older members, some of our older life members said, this is what we do, and we do it well. And we always stay in for the fight, and again, we did that again, and came out on top. And I couldn't be proud of the effort that the boys put in.
What I like, Murph, is that especially the bookends, Drew Jackson, Dexter Buchanan, really were tightened up that middle there, and given that their captain didn't play the second half, I mean, the character that Valley showed was unbelievable.
No, they had to change the plan of Schultz's, I think Big Joey and Sharpie had to play extra minutes than they were meant to, and Dexter played the full 80 minutes as a front row middle guy, scored that crucial try as well. Like, not many front rowers could play 80 minutes in a semi-final at that pace, and it was a hot day as well. So, and Drew was really good as well.
Yeah, Drew was great.
Okay, let's have a look at a few of the tries here. Firstly, I think the try of the match from Michael Marshall from Wattles, where he did a spectacular leap. If we could have a look at that one. Where he comes with Wattles, here's the bomb. Who's that from Travis Burns? And he's been great, this Michael Marshall. He did it against you guys. Oh, we missed the cup there, but he jumped high, and got it, and he did exactly the same against you fellas over at Clifton, didn't he?
Yeah, mate, it's the second time that he's pulled off one of those, mate. He just certainly gets pretty high in the air for a
well, that made it 12 all, and I think from my point of view, Gary, is that they had to actually do a really spectacular try to get past your defence, so it's a compliment to Valleys.
Yeah, our defence has been pretty solid, but letting in that try, and there was a few others that we let in as well, was a little bit concerning. But to be honest, I think the try of the match was Dexter Buchanan's.
Well, we're going to have a look at that later in a moment there, but let's go from there. I'll get you to you. Anyway, sorry, no. Let's look at Benny Cook, and I thought this was from a man of the match. Benny Cook, he gets the ball. He had nowhere to go as he comes out there back into Denzel Burns, or Jerome Burns. And look at Benny Cook, he's there flat-footed. He gets the ball. I've got nowhere to go. Let me take 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, and it was a try that was really a pinnacle point. That made it 24-22. Valleys were in front, Murph.
Yeah, no, it was a crucial try, that one, I think. He's been pretty good all year. He's carried a little bit of an injury to the back end of the season, but he showed in that game what a class player he is, and that was a crucial play for that game as well.
Yeah, and I think your halves, especially with the way they did, especially Corey, and we'll see that in a moment with Dexter, but that try really lifted the team, didn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it was great, yeah, and obviously...
How was the bench?
Yeah, it was obviously a bit of a roller coaster, that game, but yeah, it's always good to see, Cookie playing good footy is a really important part of our side, so good confidence booster for him too, because, Murph was right, he suffered a bit of a leg injury at the back end of the game, back end of the season, but he's been really good the last 2 weeks for us, so that's good.
Okay, well, let's have a look at Corey McGrady's magic here when he put Dexter Buchanan through. Gets the ball over, he decides, righty, I haven't done much through the game, I'll go myself. Very similar to Benny Cooks, and away he goes. And look at that little pass, magical stuff. Gary, take us through it, mate.
I thought that was an absolutely classic try.
Yep.
It was at a critical time. It was scored by, one of our better players. He played 80 minutes on the field, and he was up with the play the entire 80 minutes, and for a front rower to be on hand to take the pass from Corey, I thought was exceptional.
Yeah, he got close to get our man of the match, but in those type of games, whoever you give doesn't really matter.
No, there was a few guys that stood up. Exactly, it's hard to give, but that was a really crucial try. And I think once he scored that one, I think Waddle's head sort of went down a little bit.
Yeah. You're right, and I was going to say, Matthew, after that try, Dylan Chow, when Jason Sharp put him away, and then Sharpie scored the last try, and that really laid, and you really finished off the game well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was good that they said they finished in the way they did to keep attacking and keep playing, which we're probably, when we played Warwick, we're probably guilty of. We probably just tried to defend the lead and we didn't.
Yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, it's probably pretty common knowledge. We play attacking football. That's how we play. So to try and just defend leads sometime and just think that that's enough probably isn't our go. We've got to keep going. Keep going, looking for more points. So.
Well, let's go to the lower grades, and Valleys 30 defeated Gundawindi 26. They were behind 26-24 with 4 minutes to go, and then a last-minute try by Sam Cocker, who's been absolutely brilliant, reserve grade. They got the win, scoring out wide. It was a good win for you guys.
It was a great win for our guys. We hadn't beaten Gundy all year, so to finish off the way we did, probably played our best footy in reserve grade last weekend, so it was a great win.
And look, and that Gundawindi side, I actually tipped Gundawindi, and you can't blame me because Valleys had 4 tries in the second half the previous week. Gundawindi were littered with A-graders, weren't they?
Yeah, no, they're very good. And that try set up by young Alki Hinch, he's done some spectacular things this year. He's good to watch. Got to use his speed, and then he set up Sammy. And he's got a grand final in touch on Saturday, then the league on Sunday, so he's got a big weekend.
And Matty, of course, it was really good medicine for you guys before you went out to play Waddles.
Yeah, it was. Obviously we're in the warm up, and I was keeping a close eye on the phone quickly just to have a look at the scores. And I know, the moment that Sam scored and went over there, and they kind of sealed the game up. I told the boys, and it just, same thing. They lifted because of that, and they, pumped them up that little bit. So hopefully, it'd be great if they can do it again on Sunday. Sure, they played a tough game against Gatton, though. Were a very good side.
And this wonderful under-18 competition, Matty, I know we spoke about it. Gatton 38 defeated minor premiers South 18. South led 18-14 at half-time, but the Young Hawks piled on the points to convincingly defeat the minor premiers 38-18 and advance to this week's grand final. Clayton Mealing grabbed a hat-trick for the Hawks, and Tyler Hahn scored a double. He's got the best after-try celebrations I've seen. Kobe Fechner capped off his final forms, and another great performance by him, Murph.
Yeah, that South team's been a good team for a while, and Gatton have done well this year. Like, it's their best finish to a season. I don't think they've won 18s, have they? Or it's been a long time since they had.
1987 it was, and I think I was about 2 at the time, and where you were about 12 or 20, weren't you?
So, I don't think I was born there.
It's been another good 18s.
How about you, Matty? Were you born in 87?
89, mate.
Were you?
It's been another good 18s comp as well, hasn't it? It shows that the pathway through there as well, with the 2 coaches in the first grade this weekend having come through coaching 18s against each other as well.
That's right. I played under 18s in the Ipswich comp. That was in 1981, so you can see how old I am if you work that out. I don't know whether you can count that high, Gary, but that's another story. But then again, it was a great win, and congratulations to South. It's the first grand final. They have not competing this week since under 11s, so congratulations to them. But congratulations to the Gatton Hawks. I remember you saying to me, Gary, when they played you boys down at Gatton, hey, these guys are going to gangbusters. Are you backing them on the weekend?
I am backing them on the weekend. I think they're actually a very good side. The Souths were a good side as well, but I've been backing Gatton for the last few weeks, particularly the last half of the season. They've got a great side. Yeah,
and Dalby, of course, they've got a great side, Matty, but you'll be going for Gatton, being a Gatton teacher.
Yeah, mate. Bells are giving me a fair bit of stick this week, so I'll back. I'll go with the Hawks. They obviously did a great job there last week, but I think, I still think it's a game that could go either way. I'll back the Hawks, but I think, Josh Chaplin, he'll go well for Dalby. And there's a guy called Keanu Wright Dunrobin, who I've coached in a few rep sides. Keanu's only 16. He's still under 16s, but he will be very hard to handle But I think the Hawkies may just go to the line.
There we go. In second division, 3 grades, 3 lower grades for the Hawks. It's a Gatton Hawks-a-thon. They won and beat Gundawindi. Surprise. I actually backed Gundawindi because of Jamal Woodbridge, and it was 14-4 at half time, and Gatton went on and scored 30 points in the second half to advance to their grand final. Congratulations to the Gatton Hawks. Now, on to the actual big one. We're going to talk with you guys on the weekend on Sunday. What's the preparation been like so far this week, Matty?
We had a pretty light night on Tuesday. Last week we built into the week really well, and that was our plan again this week. So we had a light night Tuesday night. We had good numbers and everyone was there. It was great. And we'll train again Friday night. We'll ramp it up a bit and then have a nice little run on Saturday afternoon as well, and we'll do a bit of video.
You've been there as a player and now as a coach, Schultzy, so the preparation's a little bit different as a coach than a player, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit different. So I probably don't know what's worse, to be honest. I just get a bit nervous about both of them, but it's probably, the week's gone quick so far, which is probably a good sign for me. So.
Yeah, I've got to ask, I've got to congratulate you, Matthew. I mean, you've really got a pretty good coaching record, especially you've coached at representative level, you've coached at Mustangs, and now you've got A grade. I mean, it's a bit of a dream come true for you personally.
Oh yeah, obviously probably a bit better coach than I was a player, but I've just, I've been lucky to obviously, didn't probably inherit is probably the word this year, obviously this side, and they're a great bunch of guys, and there's been a lot of good work by previous coaches with Brett and that over the last couple of years that have gone into them, and obviously we've been very fortunate to have Ned around as well, Ned Murphy, who's obviously brings a wealth of experience, and yeah, look, it's been really good and very fortunate, and coaching something that I really enjoy and keep doing it, I guess.
Yeah, well, Gary, I was going to say a bit of adversity through the year, and you've been bashed to pillar the post all year, and it showed character this year. I've got to say, what's the feel now compared to coming to the grand final last year? Are you more relaxed or are you excited? Or?
I think I'm more relaxed.
Yeah? Not tired and emotional like you were last year?
No, not so. But it's an important time for us to go back to where we were talking. You were talking about Matty coming in, looking after our team. I have to take my head off to Matt and Ned, who have done tremendously well to look after our side, coming in 2/3 through the season. They've done a fantastic job with our guys.
And they have.
Yeah, fantastic job.
You can't ask for any more. They've got you to the grand final, haven't they?
That's exactly right.
It's more than you can't ask anymore.
And to be given the opportunity to try and go back to back in A grade in our centenary year this year or this weekend is a massive plus for our club. It's something we're super proud of, and honouring the previous premiership winners through the last 100 years. It's something that I'm very proud of to be a part of, and to be president of this club at such an important time. I'm just over the moon.
Yeah, no, I think, and I know Brett's not here at the moment, but he's done a lot of work too, so he needs a bit of credit for it as well. And
a lot of the credit.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of credit.
Yeah, a lot of credit.
Okay, well, we wish you fellas all the best. Last thing, no injuries, the team as per program?
At this stage, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. Wish you all the best, Matty. It's your debut year, so a grand final in your debut year, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Same as Matty Grooves. Right, so it should be fantastic. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you. Yep.
Aim for a premiership as a coach and a player. That'd
mate, that'd be good. That'd be great.
Well, as we go to break, let's look at an interview with Valley's Nathan Barron after their wonderful win against Wattles on the weekend. This is the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final Footy Show.
Nev Cherry for the Toowoomba Rugby League, and I'm here with the hard-working little hooker, Nathan Baring. Nathan, you've got the win over Warriors today, and mate, I particularly watched your game through the middle there. In the first half, you're on a real mission.
Yeah, mate, definitely. We come out and we watched the Derby game a little bit there, and we found that they were really vulnerable around the middle, and we just all week of training, that's what we were working to.
Mate, you've played last year's grand final. You've made it through to the grand final this year. This is your second year, and I know last year's last year, but mate, can you tell a distinct difference between the two sides?
Mate, yeah, definitely. We're a tight-knit group. I think probably even tighter than last year. Where we got that mentality, where someone goes down, it's next man up. We've had that all year, and we'd do anything for the man standing next to us.
Mate, your forward pack this year compared to last year's forward pack, would you say this year's forward pack is not as strong?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. We got some size there. We got Big Joey, Drew, Dex. Show me another front rower that plays 80 minutes. Yep. You can't stop that.
So it's going to be new territory for you going into the grand final. Not playing Wattles, not getting yourselves up for those big games against Wattles, and mate, going to be a real surprise packet against Warwick. What are you expecting?
Oh, it might not be Wattles, but it's still a very big game for us. We showed what we can do there last week and decided to clock off, and we just got to play 80 minutes against them. They're a dangerous side.
Mate, Drury Jackson, remember he come down halfway through last year and half thought, mate, is he going to make it, this fella, or not? He was half there, raw bone talent. Mate, he's just gone. The second half of this year, he's just gone to a whole different level.
Did you see how fat he was at the start of last year? Oh, gee.
Mate, did they own hair brushes up in the Nango there? I love the mullet, looks brilliant.
Mate, he straightens that. He straightens that every game. He straightens it.
Mate, he's been a real inspiration for you. It's just when, mate, you've lost players, you lost Rogers from last year, and, mate, he's taken a whole new level. He goes through the middle there. He's even got a hit and spin in his game these days, and, mate, he pops out the other side, and he's turned into a great front rower.
100%. He's already got a big head, but you're making him. He's not going to fit through the dressing shed door.
Mate, he loves that.
Mate, we beat him tough out in Nango.
Yeah, mate, it's a wonderful rugby league area. But, mate, he's moved forward. And, mate, what would it mean to you to win the 100th year grand final? Like, it's been built up all year. And, mate, no matter what's happened throughout the year, it just doesn't matter anymore until whoever wins the big dance next week.
Yeah, 100%. It's our 100 year too. So it's a thing we've been quietly looking towards, and it's something we really want.
All right, Bowles, we'll see you next week.
Coming up next, Obi and the panel will preview the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Finals in the 100th year. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchie's Builders. We're live from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters Toowoomba West on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
If you've lost your income or had a change of earning capacity through no fault of your own and are struggling with debt that you can no longer handle, you probably feel a bit like this ant. If the struggle is getting you down and you feel overwhelmed, there is an answer. Central Liaison has helped thousands of people break free of the debt struggle by handling their debt for them. Freeze all interest, stop the harassing calls from the bank and start enjoying life again. Call them today on 0409 344 070 for a confidential, obligation-free chat about how Central Liaison can help you take your life back. The number again, 0409 344 070. Call them now.
On Power TV Australia, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media with a team of experts from around the world with Switched On IT. Learn what makes the internet tick and how to keep your kids safe online. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store.
Celebrate 100 years of rugby league in Toowoomba with the TRL's exclusive radio and TV call team. Join Obi, Cookie, Nev, George and Kelvin every Saturday from 5:30pm for the Toowoomba Sports Club Match of the Day, live on powerfmradio.com.au/special events. On Sunday, the team's back with the Power FM Hutchies Match of the Round from 1:30pm on Power FM 88 Toowoomba and online at powerfmradio.com.au/special events. You can now watch the game of the week with all the action, including instant replays of every try at 8 o'clock Sunday night on Power TV Australia. Take the footy with you wherever you go by downloading the Power TV Australia app for both Power FM and Power TV Australia. Welcome back to the TRL Footy Show from the Toowoomba Sports Club. And now here's Obi and the panel.
And welcome back to the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final Footy Show. And Nathan Barry, Murphy's got a big job on the weekend.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's a bit of a character in that Valleys side. He opens his mouth a fair bit, but he normally does back it up as well.
That's right. And we have the coach of the Warwick Cowboys, Matty Grew. Welcome to the Footy Show, mate.
Thanks, Hope.
Okay, and looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, no, we're very excited about the weekend.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll get to your game in a moment. And, of course, one of the unsung heroes, I reckon a really underrated player here for the Warwick Cowboys, Josh Cruz. How are you, Joshy?
Good, Abby.
That's good. Welcome to the Footy Show.
Thanks, mate.
Well, let's have a preview before we get to the big one of the lower grade. Second Division Grand Final, Newtown versus Gatton. It's 10 a.m. The Obi and Cookie Call. We are broadcasting the radio. We go live at 10 minutes to 10. There, Newtown are on the verge of history, making re-entry into the TRL when they take on finals savvy Gatton in the second division. Should be a fantastic game, this one, Murph.
Yeah, it should be. A lot of that Newtown team have played at first grade grand finals as well, so their experience will be pretty handy on this day, and a lot of them are around my age, 40, around that age too, so it's a credit to them to still have a run around now.
Well, that's funny, I thought you were a lot older than that, Murph. But let's get on to the grand final. Who you tip for that one, mate?
I think Newtown, they've been the best team all year, and I just think that they'll get up in that one.
Your comments, mate, and your tip?
Oh, I don't sort of know too much about the C grade comp, but all I know is that...
I thought you knew a lot more. I thought your football brain, you've got to the grand final, Gruey, and you know everything about everything
Just
about it.
all I know about is that Newtown at the stage, they're undefeated so far this year.
Mate,
and like Merv said, there's a lot of players in that side that have played first grade grand final, so I think they're going to handle the second grade one and continue that unbeaten run.
Josh?
Yeah, I think Newtown get there. Yep.
No, and why, mate?
Undefeated. They've got a lot of good players, a lot of A-grade players, stuff like that.
Don't ask him too many questions, I'd be confusing.
Yeah, but that's good. I'm going for the Hawks. I thought they were really good against Gundy on the weekend. They put a heap of points on them, and their forwards have got there as well. But look, yep, they certainly are underdogs, but the Hawks boys will get into it. Now let's look on the under-18 grand final. Dalby, Gatton and South have been the best sides all year. 11:20 is kickoff. We go on the Obi and Cookie Call at approximately 10 past 11. It's been one of the best under-18 competition in recent years. Dalby Diehards and Gatton Hawks will face off this weekend. Josh Chappell and James Hendrick are the key players for the young Diehards, whilst Josh Chappell was the difference when these two sides met in the qualifying final 2 weeks ago. They were level pegging, and then Josh put on a couple of tries, and then they ran away with it. Inspirational leader Joel Brett returns for the Hawks. Braden Clark, Stanley Jackson are the key for on the back of Dylan Flanagan's go forward for the Hawks. Your thoughts?
Josh Chappell's a very handy player, so if Gatton can contain him, they'll go a long way to winning the game. I think he is their Dalby's key, but Gatton, I think they're mentally strong like we've talked about before, and I think they're in a bit of a roll and they might get this one, I reckon.
Agree?
Yeah, well, you asked me this question a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't really sort of want to give you an answer.
And I forced it out of you.
And I said Dalby, so I'll stick with that. And but I wish I would have the time to sit and watch that 18s game, because they're always exciting grand finals and they're always exciting football games.
Yeah, Josh?
Yeah, I think Dalby will get there. That Joshy Chappell's a good player. He played us at home when we played him. It's pretty dangerous, so yeah, I think Dalby will get there.
And it's been, what, 15, 20 years since you played under 18s?
10.
Oh, 10?
10 years.
Sorry, I got that wrong, mate. Well, look, I do like Gatton. I like their forwards. They're going very well. I tell you what, yes, I'm a Gatton man. Go you Hawkies. We'll see you later on. Now let's get on to the reserve grade grand final. And we've got Valleys versus Gatton, 1 p.m. as kickoff. The Obi and Cookie Call, we go live at 10 to 1. These two teams are perennial grand finalists. Gatton in their 7th grand final, and Valleys have played 5 out of the last 7 against Gatton, of course. Dean Bickle, Jaden Swan the key for Gatton. Swan is a general, and Bickle is in fantastic finals form, while Sam Cocker and Josh Hancock are the ones to watch for the Roosters. Cocker loves scoring tries off that little general Josh Hancock, don't you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. He's a very good player, Sam Cocker, and he's played at Brisbane East before, so I think for reserve grade he's a fairly handy player there. And they've got Aaron Silito back in that side now as well too, so that's another handy addition as well.
Yeah, reserve grade, wonderful competition. Reserve grade has been very close this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Like I said to you on the week, in the job I've got, I don't get to watch a great deal of the reserve grade games, which is a bit of a shame. I try and watch as much as I can, but and it's always a good competition.
Who are you backing? Yeah, it's funny. I'm asking serious.
Yeah, no, I know.
I am serious at times, Matty.
No, look, I don't know, and I think the last, has it been 7 years? These two sides have played in 5 grand finals in the last 7 years.
Yeah, they have.
Great, I think so. I think Gatton have won a few of them, and Valleys have won a couple, so maybe Valleys are due.
Yeah, never know. Joshy?
Yeah, the same as Greg. I'm not too sure. We don't get to watch it a lot. Yeah, I like probably Gatton. I think Gatton will get there.
Yeah, well, the last round, it was 20 points to 18. Valleys won at Valleys. Valleys did let 4 Gatton tries in the major semi in the second half, and that's why I am actually leading towards Gatton. But what I do like about Valleys is that they are a pure reserve grade, given that their A grade's in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think it's made any difference because of that.
Yeah, I think Valleys are a bit disappointed in themselves. They had the week off and they didn't train.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed in that second half against Gatton, so they've come back, trained hard, and I think they're going to be a lot better side. It's going to be a very close game, and it'll be a really good game as well, but I just think Valleys might get up because they've got a bit more hunger in them, I reckon.
Well, I think exactly the same for Gatton. It was the same with their second division and the reserve grade. Just that hunger, and Cliffy Brown, I could see he's a coach of both second division and reserve grade, so he's going to do an Andrew Schmidt. Yeah, and he plays as well. Andrew Schmidt won the second division and reserve grade 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a big feat coaching 2 sides, isn't it, Matthew? Imagine if you did that.
Oh, it's a massive effort.
Really good.
I don't know how he does it, to tell you the truth, so good on him.
Okay, so let's go to the big one, the A-grade grand final in the centenary year for Toowoomba Rugby League. The Obie and Cookie Call will be on at 2:45. Kickoff is at 3 o'clock. It's a delayed telecast on Power FM on Monday night at 7 o'clock right here on Power FM, Power TV. Well, it's here, the 100th running of the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final. Who will be the winner in this centenary year? A big, big thing. Valleys deserve the right to defend their 2018 premiership, and they are also in their 100th year as well. Therefore, they have plenty to play for this weekend. If they can get their reserve grade over the line, it will be celebration plus, you would think. They're attempting their 36th premiership, by far the most premiership winning club, whereas Warwick are attempting to win only their second premiership since their last one. Was it 88, was it, Matty?
1988.
Yeah, that's right. So let's, I think we just want, before we go to the matchups, but I suppose what we'll get from you, Matthew, how's the week leading up to it so far?
Yeah, good. Or I suppose when you look at, we've had 2 weeks leading up to it really for us, and we had a really good recovery week after that Valleys game, which we really needed. We had a couple of sore bodies, and the boys responded really well to a good recovery week. We still trained pretty hard, but then this week we've just retouched on a few things and still trying to get a few bodies right, and we've got a training session left tonight and a field run on Saturday, and then the game on Sunday.
Some coaches do have a simulated match in that off week. Did you do that this weekend?
No, we didn't have a simulated match. We didn't get having a poser on, but we had a fairly heavy field session with our squad of 20 on Saturday afternoon in the heat, and the boys ran around and sweat up a little bit and got stuck into each other a little bit. So it was really good.
And you were happy with the build-up, Josh?
Yeah, mate, it's been good. It's been good. Everyone's excited. Can't wait.
Ed Murph, the week off, good, bad?
No, it's good. They can enjoy the moment, enjoy the occasion. It's good to be a part of any grand final. It's special to win them though, but it's good to be a part. So to get the week off and watch the other 2 teams bash each other up, I think that's a privilege that you earn by getting first team in there.
And Murph, with the Valleys Waddles game, did you find that they bashed each other enough to really make Warwick favourites here?
It was another physical game. It was hot game, and it was very physical, I thought, for Valleys, obviously losing Hanol and Budden early on too, so put a bit of extra stress on a few of their forwards that wouldn't have got as much time probably as well. So.
Anyway, I've got matchups here, and I've got action shots of all the players. Let's have a look at the key players. Firstly, let's look at the Warwick pack with Ben Sullivan, Darren Pettiford and Josh Cruz, if we can get that up on screen.
Oh,
how did I get that? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Josh. How did I get that photo in there, mate? There is one in there. Oh, that's. I do apologise on behalf of the TRL and Obie that I just can't see how they got in there, but certainly getting very serious here as far as Darren Pettiford, Ben Sullivan and Josh is concerned. That's the engine room, because we've got Josh has got a high work rate. Ben Sullivan, we know we can do, and the impact from Darren Pettiford off the bench.
Yeah, Ben's a really good player. Obviously, I think he's been one of the best players the whole year in the whole comp. I thought he might have been player of the year in the comp, and he adds a lot to the guys around him, and then that players around him do lift as well. So I think he's their key, I reckon, for Warwick, definitely.
Yeah, and your thoughts, those three players that we're just looking at the moment, they're a key parcel in your whole pack, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Those three players are very they're very key players in
It's
our
very
forward
straight
pack.
part, Josh.
Yeah. But you know, they all three of them have a role, and it's a different role to each other, and they play their roles very well.
It's nice to have a bit of fun on grand final, Josh. But sorry,
another one there. He's not in the photo. Obviously, Toby. Broomhall. He's a good player as well.
Sammy,
Sorry,
absolutely. Yeah, no, he's very much a key. You know, I'd like to think that most of our blokes are all key players in some way, Murph, and they all, like I said, they all know their role.
I think he tidies your ruck up a lot as well.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, but Josh, I'd say that you guys with the pack there have really found your mojo, especially coming into the finals. When you look back at that ugly game against Wattles, there about a month or so ago, especially your back three with Mickey, yourself, Sam Brommel, you've really close-knit and said, right out, and you have lifted a cog, and I've noticed with yourself, your work rate, Sam Bromwell's just putting his body on the line, and Mick is concentrating on footy with all due respect. I think it's been fantastic, don't you agree?
Yeah, no, it's been good. We all complement each other pretty well, I think. We all know what each other does. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the Valleys pack and look at their bookends. I think they've been tremendous all year. Drew Jackson and Dexter Buchanan. I think they had an off day, Murph, against Warwick that day, but they did bounce back last week, didn't they?
Yeah, they're quality players. You know what you're going to get from them too, probably every week. There's no fluctuation in their performance. So I think they're definitely, on the weekend, they carried the Valleys team forward and let those speedy guys get some work done.
And I will say, Matthew, is that whilst I thought your forward pack were better than Valleys last time you meet them, but it's going to be a completely different game Sunday, mainly because it's a dry track, I think. But Drew and Dexter, by their own admittance, as it would be for your players, have got something to prove against you guys this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Any player that is playing in the grand finals has got something to prove against their opposite number. And those two boys, you know, I've got a big rap on the work that Drew does on the field, and obviously Dexter. I think Dexter's played the last two games. He played 80 minutes of football, so he's quality and he can go the distance. So we've got to work really hard to shut their go forward down. Yeah,
and I think Josh, especially Simone Vavague, he got player of the match in that game.
Yep.
You know, he's really lifted as well. So you've got a formidable opponents with Jared Bradfield and Simone against. You've got to agree. You know, Drew and Dexter are pretty quality front rowers.
Yeah, no, they keep coming. They're good. Simone and Brady, they keep getting better and better every week. No, I think it'd be good. It'd be a good battle there in the middle.
Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look at Valley's back line, Murph. We've got three players up here: Corey McGrady, Denzel Burns, and Jerome Burns. Look, not only are these three key players, but we also got Benny Cook from last week.
Yeah,
Murph.
definitely. Those three boys, they want to play footy all the time, and doesn't matter what the score is all the time. It's hard to tell them not to play footy, so you've got to encourage that. And they're going to obviously, with their speed, throw a lot at Warwick as well, I think. So
yeah, the big thing here is that Warwick didn't play Valleys on a dry track, and they didn't play with Denzel Burns in the side. So it's going to be a different game. How do you see it going?
Yeah, I don't know. Warwick they hung in the game. They could have easily folded when Valleys got to the lead last time, but their mentality wasn't to do that. It showed how tough they were. So I think it's going to be a good game. That they're going to be up for the game, so I think all around it's going to be pretty good game.
Yeah, Denzel Burns, dry track, your comments?
Fast. What else can you say?
Okay, but your defence has been really, really good. It certainly was against them last time.
Yeah, it was, but it's going to have to be better. It's a grand final, it's a different game to a semi-final, so we'll have to find another level with our defence and make sure we somehow work out how to nullify that speed.
Okay, well, look, you had plenty of confidence. Let's have a look at the three key players I've put in for the Warwick Cowboys: Cody Tandy, Craig Don, and Joe Fuimano. And I tell you what, they are really good players, aren't they, mate?
They caused Valleys some problems in the last game as well, so they're pretty handy players themselves. They've got some pace, they've got some footwork and evasion as well. Cody was awesome. Craig Donald thought he was really good too. So
yeah, I think
Joey on the edges, he takes a lot of stopping.
And he was great in 47 Battalion, which you were involved with.
yeah.
It was absolutely fantastic stuff. But Matthew, back to you again. I think I've liked Cody Tierney's tenacity, especially late in the game where he's backed himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody's worked really hard this year on knowing when to inject himself into the game like that, and he's got a really good ability to read sides, Cody, and he knows when he needs to do that. It showed against Valleys there a couple of weeks ago when he took advantage of their slow-moving line and he covered in half and went in the field. So he's not as quick as he used to be. A couple of years ago, he might have scored that try himself, but he sort of slowed up a little bit, and lucky Matty Marshall was pushing hard on the outside to get there.
Yeah. And Josh, you've had different halves. You had Paul Cantrell not play this year because of injury. You've had different halves. You had young Murphy as well.
Yep.
But I do think, look, I think Harry Sullivan's a smoky for the John McDonald medal, all right, because he's that type of player. But Cody, you would have been very impressed, especially late in the game, on what he can produce for you guys.
Yeah, well, he's dangerous, very dangerous. Still got to let Cody just, especially around that middle third, he's very dangerous there late in the game. Kicking game's improved like massively over the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, excited to see what he can do on Sunday.
And Joey Fuimono, we know what he's capable of. I tell you what, like he's just as good in the forwards as he is with the backs, and but I've got to ask, he's got this little hammy injury as well, is he? But you've got good backup, haven't you? Anyway.
Joey's right. He'll be fine. His hamstring was a bit sore, and like I said, he made that decision to bring himself off in the last game because he knew we needed blokes out that were 100%, and he didn't think he was 100% to finish that game off. So credit to him for doing that. I know it's a hard thing for him to take himself out of a game of footy, but he did. But no, he's right, and he couldn't be any more excited about it.
A lot of time, grand finals, the injuries don't matter. You just play through them, I think.
No, that's what he said to me, Murphy. I was talking to him about it the other day, making sure he's right. And he said, yeah, don't worry, Drew. He said, I'll play the grand final until it snaps. So.
And Gruey, as we come up to Sunday, you've had a great year, become father, you got your health right, you've seen these under-18s come through, and now you're coaching to an A grade. You just would have to pinch yourself, but you seem to be your bloke that's just really, let's just focus on the job, all right, and all the benefits will come if you just do your job properly.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one thing we've sort of spoke heavily on this year as a side. You've got to accept your role within the side, and once you can accept that role and you go out and execute your role, well, that's the best thing for the team. So, and that's what blokes have really worked hard on this year is getting their roles right and being the best they can be in that position they're playing.
And the town, how's it? The field?
Oh, it's very excited at the moment.
You're a celebrity, but you were a celebrity before, weren't you?
We've got takeaway shops doing Cowboys burgers at the moment. We've got a jersey on the first Mayor of Warwick in the main street. Shop owners are doing up their shops and their streamers, and it's really good. It's great to see. We've been doing it pretty tough out there over the last couple of months, and it's really good to see the town excited about this on Sunday. So
that's the great thing about country footy, isn't it? Seeing the towns like that celebrate and get a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's really good. We've got our 2 junior clubs in town, but we've got 1 senior club, and that's it for Warwick. So we're getting some really good support at the moment.
Yeah.
Cruzy?
Yeah, no, it's great, mate. Everyone's excited. Can't really
have you paid for a beer this week?
No.
And you don't expect to pay for one after Sunday?
Hope not. Hope not.
But I've been on about it for the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot more important things in rugby league, and certainly the drought out that way, Murph, and it's going to be great medicine for those communities.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was just talking to my father about that last night, about when he was a kid, he lived on a farm and they had no water, so they had to have the one bath between all the kids and everything, and there was one bath for the whole week, that's it. So I think Warwick and those areas have been struggling for water at the moment, and it's good for a little bit of a lift, and for footy to do that, it's really good for the town.
Yeah, well, tomorrow, 9:30 at the Burnoff Centre construction site, we've got a press conference or launch of the thing, and can you see the trophy? Where's the trophy over there?
Grab it up.
Yeah, you can, yeah? You're not superstitious, mate?
No, really.
Not superstitious? Well, this is what the boys are playing for, all right, the big Hutchies Cup. What did we get that, Matthew Schultz? You want me to shine it up for you? Yeah, so it's going to be fantastic. We wish all the teams the best of luck on the weekend. Thanks so much for coming from Warwick. This way? The other way? And me? Over this side. That's right. Yeah, sorry, Barry. We've got that, but thanks so much for coming from Warwick, especially for the show, Matthew, on behalf of our team here, and to you, Josh. We really, really appreciate it, but it all goes towards the actual week in the 100th year. How's that 100th year centenary grand finalist at least sit with you, Matthew?
Oh, it's it's a great thing to be involved in the 100th year grand final. It really is. It's a great thing to be involved in any grand final.
Yep.
So, but to be involved in that 100th year one, yeah, it adds a little bit extra, I suppose, bit of feeling to it, a bit more emotion to it, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, you, Josh?
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Like, we haven't won one for a long time. Like, it means a lot to us, the players, past players, a lot of people really excited at home, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's funny, I've been involved in a few of them. I look at the years there, and I've been involved in a few of the grand finals, and when you're not a part of it, you feel left out and you feel jealous. So it is great to be a part of a grand final day, guys. So I really appreciate it and enjoy it as well.
It's almost as big as my head, isn't it?
Come on.
There you go. Can't be that big. That's right. Okay, Matthew, Josh, have a safe trip home.
Thanks, mate.
Let's go as we go to the break. It's not Sean's selections, as we are going to do it live. So let's have a look at a cheeky interview that Nev did with a couple of young lasses on the weekend that went viral from them as well. But after the break, we've got the legend himself, Sean Lees. This is the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final Footy Show.
Nev Sheriff from Toowoomba Rugby League. We have a couple of Valley supporters and a Waddle supporter, Vince Ramsey's daughter. You might remember him from the 90s. He could play a little. He could play a little. No, he could play a little bit of footy. Who do you follow?
I follow Ryan Stevens, who's been my partner for a while. He's played great footy. Seems to get injured quite a bit, but whenever he comes back, he seems to put a good dig in. I really support him. In Valleys, they're just a great team. I just couldn't put him back. Couldn't put it.
Mate, you didn't just come straight from the bar, but I'll tell you something seriously about Ryan. I'll tell you, you must be very proud of him, the way he's come back. Like, he had a couple of really hard years. Even this year going into it, looked like he mightn't even make the A-grade side, but he hung in there, and perseverance is his number one key.
I'm very proud of him. He's been great, and so of all the Valleys, I love the fullback. He's done great work, and the wingers, they've done great work, and yeah, they're just a great side. Put great teamwork in.
Good boys.
And yeah, great.
We'll move on to you, young Vince Ramsey, who's touched on. I think you might have even played Queensland Rangers. He did, mate. He was a wonderful player coming from out west, and he must be just Cunnamulla, yep. He must be just super proud of you.
Oh, he is. I am his living legend.
Fair dinkum.
I am. I wish I could play footy. I wish I could.
Mate, these days you're lucky enough you can play footy.
I know, I wish I could.
I mean, Phillies is still out there.
He didn't even make it today. He didn't even make it here today because he's not here.
Okay, that's fair enough. So how long have you followed the Waddles Warriors?
I've always followed the Waddles Warriors.
Mate, what went wrong for them today, you think?
They so they need to pick up their attack because it just wasn't working for them. It just wasn't. Like they tried.
Valleys have a great defence.
Yeah, Valleys have got a really good defence, but Waddles just couldn't pick it up today.
Mate, I'm heading straight back down the sheds there to see Travis Burns. He's got himself an assistant coach for next year. Thanks very much, girls.
Thank you.
Did he play for?
There's much more still to come of the TRL Grand Final Footy Show, brought to you by Power FM and Hutchie's Builders, live from the Toowoomba Sports Club on Power TV Australia.
Jamming as much variety into your day as possible.
PowerFMRadio.com.au.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters Toowoomba West on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
Thanks for joining us for the TRL Footy Show live from the Toowoomba Sports Club. And now once again, it's back to Obi and the panel.
Yeah, welcome back, and this is the final segment for the whole 2019 season in its 100th year for the Toowoomba Rugby League, and this is the trophy, Murph. That's it. Doesn't look really good.
Oh, it's good.
That'll be carried around there. All right, and joining us is the man himself, Sean Lees from Hutchison Builders. G'day, Shawnee.
G'day. Obi, how are you?
And Joey Hannatt's back.
Obi,
Yeah.
I'm back.
And it's nice to have him back, our two most important people in the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show, because we've got Hutchison as sponsors and we've got Toowoomba Sports Club sponsors as well. And on behalf of the Toowoomba Rugby League and especially myself and all the team guys, we thank you very much for partnering with us this year.
No, thank you, Obi. It's been really good. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolute pleasure, yeah, Obi, mate. Absolutely thrilled to be a part of it once more. Fantastic.
Yeah, and first of all, before we get going, our last segment, I'd like to thank this little fella beside me. He's been with us for 3 or 4 seasons now, Murph?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but a few years. Yeah, 3 probably.
But thanks very much. Nothing's been too much trouble when you come on, Murph, and I really appreciate that you've been so cooperative during the footy show.
No, I appreciate you guys inviting me here, and I love Toowoomba Rugby League. I grew up in Toowoomba, and I'm passionate about rugby league in this area as well, and I think we've got a lot of good young players to do the best they can in the future as well.
And you're moving to France. You've taken up a coaching role over there. Tell us about that and which club you're going to, which area of France?
Moving to France. My wife's French, so we've decided to move back to France, and I was lucky enough to get a coaching job with Toulon, and they play in the French second division comp, which is a promotion relegation competition.
Okay.
And they've got a aim to try and get promoted and then try and eventually get in the English Championship. So Toulon's rugby union side is probably the highest paid rugby union side in the world.
Okay.
And so the area there, it's got a lot of money. It's in the French Riviera. So hopefully in a few years' time we can try and get that area back into rugby league and playing at good levels of rugby league as well.
Well, especially when half of Toowoomba's going to be playing over there. Is that right, Murph?
Yeah, well, Nolan Button's got a French passport, so he's going all right for Valleys at the moment, so I wouldn't mind taking him over with me. And those 2 fast Burns boys, I wouldn't mind taking them as well. They've got a bit of speed.
I heard you've stamped Alona's passport already and actually written out the visa yourself. Is that right, Murph?
I don't know about that.
All right, well, let's get stuck into it. And we're here with the legend himself. We've done Sean's selection, which has been an absolute hit this year, showing you on different sites and so forth. Sean, it's been good fun, hasn't it?
Mate, it's been excellent, Obi. Yeah, it's something I've certainly enjoyed doing. Not something I anticipated doing, but mate, I've really enjoyed it, and a few of the boys have enjoyed it as well, seeing around sites and interviewing a few of the site managers and that sort of thing. So it's been the sort of thing that the whole company's embraced a bit, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, give us your selections for the weekend, mate.
Well,
Valleys or Warwick, and give me the reasons why, like you usually do each week.
Mate, it's a tough one. I probably didn't anticipate seeing Warwick in there, particularly not after sitting out the week before like they did, which I think is fantastic. I think probably most of us, myself included, expected to see another Valleys Waddles episode, but it just added something to it, to be another dimension that I wasn't anticipating. It's really a tough one to pick. I watched the last couple of games of both these sides play. I reckon I'm going to have to go with Valleys, but I think that's really just on a bit of history and having been there before and knowing how to get it done under the big stage and the big pressure moments. But I would be not at all surprised if Warwick come home, and probably I hope they do, because it would just been so good to see the Warwick boys come into town and have a win.
Okay, and then reserve grade, Valleys or Gatton? Just a quick.
Probably going to go for Valleys the same.
Okay,
but
be good to have them too.
To go for the sweep.
Okay, under 18s, Dalby and Gatton?
Yeah, tough one. I'm going to go for the Dalby lads.
And Gatton, Newtown?
Newtown.
Yeah, well, the city boy out of... Sean, let's go over to you. Joe, your thoughts? Firstly, A grade?
Look again, like Sean said, that's a tough one, isn't it? None of us, I don't expect to think Warwick would get there, but look, they played some really good football near the end of the season, so... Valleys, they just are a very consistent football side. You've got to play 80 minutes to beat Valleys, that's for sure. But look, I'm going to go, I think I'll tip Warwick this weekend to shake it up a little bit.
And Merce, special time for Valleys, their 100th year. They're defending, we don't see this much, they're defending their 2018 grand final. Who are you going for?
I'm actually running the water for Valleys in the grand final.
So you're going for Warwick?
No, I'll definitely be going for Valleys, and it's actually good because I arrived here 10 years ago and Valleys were the best team then, and hopefully I'll leave and Valleys are still the best team now too. So.
Okay, reserve grade, I know you're going for Valleys. Who are you going for reserve grade there, Joe?
Well, we got
Valleys and Gatton.
Valleys and Gatton. Look, I'll go Gatton. Gatton have been there for a couple of years now in the reserve grade sides. I've always got a pretty solid side, so let's go for the out-of-towner.
Dalby or Gatton under 18s, Joe?
Dalby.
I said Gatton before, and
that's right, you did. And then second division, what'd you say?
Newtown.
Newtown, and
Newtown.
Newtown as well.
Anyone want to know mine? Who cares about what I say? But I think that
three Gatton teams, you'll be going for Gatton.
Yeah, look, I've got to go. I'm going for the 3 Gatton, or else I will not be able to go back in there, I can tell you. But I do genuinely think that all teams in all the 4 grand finals, I think you all agree, can all win on their day, can't they?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But as for the A grade, I think it's about Warwick's week off, right, and Valleys playing on a dry track, which we showed last week. And I think because Warwick did beat Valleys that last time, I am leaning towards them, but I know it's going to be an absolute ripper. Yes, I do think it's either going to be the Warwick's forwards win it for them or the Burns boys win it for them, one of the two. But irrespective, it's going to be a great game, isn't it, Sean?
Absolutely. I agree with your synopsis too. It'll be interesting to see.
Synopsis, that's a big word for us footy guys.
I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds good.
I can't even... Can you spell synopsis? No, you can't. I won't even ask you, Joe Hannatt.
Oh, thank you.
That's right. But you're good at spell check. Thanks, Sean. I'm sorry, mate.
No worries at all.
Yeah,
no.
but you agree with that? I think that's it.
It's an interesting one having Warwick have the week off, particularly coming off the win against Valleys. I reckon had Waddles have pushed him a bit harder last weekend, it might have taken a bit more gas out of the tank. But I thought they had a game, and you could see towards the end they're almost out there, sort of getting. It looked like they were preparing for this week more so than getting through the game. I thought so, mate. I reckon they're both placed for just a good game. Can't wait.
And I think it's going to be a huge crowd. I think
Absolutely.
you have country versus city clubs with Valleys and Newtown, of course, and then you've got Gatton, Dalby, and Warwick. So just that alone is going to be a big day, isn't it, Sean?
I think just the fact that Warwick are there too, mate, and the way they've made the game, I think draws a bit of interest locally too.
Yep.
They're sort of the surprise package this year, so another dimension, and I think it's going to be good all round.
Okay, Sean, look, thanks so much on behalf of the Toowoomba Rugby League and the Toowoomba Footy Show and the Obie and Cookie Call for the partnership with us from Hutchison Builders. I know you're going to be there next year. We look forward to, we might even have a talk over the season how we can rev up a few little things, Sean, but it was great to see you there. And to you, Joe, to Karen Evans and the board of the Toowoomba Sports Club, we do thank you very much. This is your third year of involvement with the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show, and we really appreciate it.
No, thank you very much. We have really enjoyed it too.
And a couple of thank yous, Stephen, that this is the last show of the 2019 season, as certainly to Power FM, to Robbo. Him and I and Cookie were there right from the start when we started this media crazy thing, and if it wasn't for Robbo, we certainly wouldn't be here. To Barry and Yuki Knights and young Lukey over there from the Power TV Australia, the work that goes behind this production is second to none, and to have it at grassroots level, I think you'll agree, Murph, is something that other districts can look back on.
Definitely, it keeps people involved that can't get to the footy. If you've got young families or different things, it's definitely a way to stay involved and up to date on what is happening. So it's a great initiative by Toowoomba, and you guys do a great job, and I'll be certainly listening and watching in next year as well when I'm overseas.
And Joe, what has been a surprise for me personally is that with the media exposure has meant larger crowds.
Yeah,
isn't it amazing?
Look, I just think it just piques the interest, doesn't it? I mean, if you've got a medium there that people can just do it locally, and local's what it's all about, it brings the community together, and you know, they go, you know what, let's go out and have a look at this live. I mean, I just think it's wonderful that what everyone's doing with this, and I think it's just got to get bigger and better.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. Like we're on something here, Sean, where we've got this exposure at this level, you know, and everyone's just loving it, aren't they?
Mate, it makes a massive difference. It surprises me how popular you blokes are, actually. And I think that it's really unique in a regional environment to have the sort of coverage we do, and you blokes doing the work that you do behind the scenes, mate. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think, Murph, we're at that tier where we've got NRL, and I think we're going to just keep it nice and simple, and hopefully other districts will take it on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a improvement to rugby league, and other districts, they'll certainly want to jump on board and try and promote their leagues as well.
Yeah, and as I said earlier in the show, thank you so much to the TRL and the board, especially Brian. Brian, he's been fantastic for us right through our four years. Thank you very, very much. And one and only, I really want to thank all the clubs, especially the coaches, presidents, captains and the players, because without them, I ring them every week. Can you come on? Can you come on? Who's out and who's in? And they are the actual show, aren't they, Murph?
Yeah, definitely. They are. They get right behind it, and it is important, and it's great that everyone does jump on board as well.
That's right, and all the panel, Paul Reedy, Murph, Gary Lawrence, I know we had Mark Tukey, Kelvin Hawke, Lenny Curry, and a number of others that I may have forgotten, and of course Nev Cherry. What a fantastic job Nev does with all his interviews, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he does a tremendous job. He does a lot of research into it as well, and he takes it seriously, so I think it's really good.
Okay, and most of all to you, the audience, and if it wasn't for you watching and listening to us, we wouldn't be here, and we thank you very much. It's going to be a great day on Sunday. Thanks very much, Sean, for coming on. Thanks, Joe. You can limp out here. Throw the crutches away, Joe. We'll tell you about that later on. And Murph, all the best over in France. And we're looking forward to Sunday. We'll see you on Sunday. It's been fantastic for Toowoomba Rugby League. And we'll see you next year. This is the Toowoomba Rugby League Grand Final Show.
This has been the final edition of the TRL Footy Show for 2019, celebrating 100 years of the Toowoomba Rugby League. Thanks to our sponsors, Power FM, Hutchison Builders, Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West, and the various football clubs that participated throughout the year. If you'd like to advertise on Power TV or Power FM, you can contact us by phone or email. The details are on the screen. This has been a Power TV Australia production in conjunction with Power FM. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and remember to download the Power TV Australia app from the Apple and Google Play stores. I'm Robbo. Thanks for your company for 2019, and we'll see you again next year for the 2020 season of the TRL Footy Show. See you then.